looking at you and saying, are we willing to invest the time to actually go out to dinner with Mark and his wife? Do I want to, did you make the cut for the draft pick, and then I could put you on the VIP or the Dream 100, right? And that's it. And that's the game.
Not intended to be transactional in any.
Never. And because if it is, they know it.
Absolutely.
Like, you're just trying to,
you just want my next deal.
Have you ever met a guy?
No, I want
your
all
name
of your deals.
No, that's what I tell them. Like, then guess what though? But when you're rolling with G's, they understand the game, and he wants you to win too.
Right. Time is money. They straight to the point type concept. Now, I am very direct and to the point, and I'm working on it, but I'm that way with borrowers. I'm that way with people.
That's good.
Most like it. Why? Because they understand that concept.
Yeah.
Some are turned off by it, but those are the people that I've just not intended to work with, I guess.
It's funny because JT and I were talking, and that goes with like agent attraction. They think like recruiting, we're going to like try to recruit and get as many people. We're so selective. I'm like, a lot of people are reaching out to me, and I'm like, I'm not going to talk to them about the things, because I don't think they're a right fit. We want to align ourselves, and so it's not about the numbers. It's about finding the right people that align and believe it themselves, rather than us trying to like say, hey, this is this. It's like, if you don't believe it, then we're just not,
not a good fit.
No.
Think about this too. It's kind of like the birds of a feather we talked about, product and environment. If I'm talking to an agent and they say, and I know this is off the record, hopefully, but it's okay if they hear it. Our company is extremely inclusive. We are an incredible company for new agents, middle, luxury, the whole nine. But me personally, if you ask about training, that's a red flag, because I'm a pro. If you think you need help, you are definitely not on my team. Period. Zero.
But
I will not partner with anybody who doesn't know what they're doing. And then I'm going to take it as far as, like, yesterday, I'm sitting on a panel with Michael Valdez, who is the CEO of International.
Yeah.
There's about $2 or $3 billion worth of production, and I'm rolling the dice. And so I'm guilty by association. And so what this is like elevating. When you're 25, your friends are 25. When you get to your 40s, you're rolling around with the highest caliber, top notch, literally.
If you do it right.
But we do.
Yes.
And that's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's why you're on TV.
Time off. We made it. So I've got three things just in our conversation right now that we could discuss. Not in any particular order, but we've got recruiting, the criteria that you guys actually hone in on, who goes on your list, who doesn't, and why.
Top secret though.
The transition from lender to realtor / realtor recruiter. For both of you, mindset of, because you were doing two different things, but still equal, yin and yang concept. And then you mentioned training. Do you have like maybe a top three things that you would advise as
100%.
You training someone, a realtor, something like that? And then I had one that is not on this list that has to do with, and I haven't fully figured out how to articulate this, but what do you think is going to happen as time progresses? Time is never going to stop. Therefore, evolution, if we're lucky, continues to do the same thing, but will it surpass the abilities of realtors and that industry as a whole?
That's a great.
Does that make sense?
Really good.
We know we need to break that down.
Okay.
That's a huge topic, because I'm with you. We touched it a little bit, but obviously the mystery of the future is intriguing. Absolutely. And especially if, like in our industry, the writing's on the wall.
Yeah. And many can't see that writing on the wall though.
Dude.
They're so blinders that it's just not even something that they're too busy in their business, working in their business instead of on their business, being able to take that bird's eye view, get perspective from the outside, study your craft. Many don't even study their own craft. Truly. It's like, I wake up and I'm a lender and I do loans and that's what I do. Yeah. But, what advice are you giving in this situation? Well, I mean, it doesn't fit in this bucket. Well, no. We're talking about life situation, borrowers in front of you. They just spilled their guts on their goal, but their, troubles and hurdles. How are you going to advise them? FHA loan. Or what? It's like,
I've seen it. Yeah.
You've got to build the relationship.
Yeah.
You've got to ask the questions.
But and be an expert too. Like, for example, if like for an agent, if like when's a good time to buy? I'm like, dude, if you're buying in Boulder, Boulder's the most valuable real estate in the United States. If you're buying in Maui, take a guess. And then I would say zoom out a little bit. Look at the S&P, look at the Dow. Everything does this. And I'm not saying the universe is expanding, but that's a theory. So what are the odds that the entire universe is expanding? Our economy is expanding, right? And then here's where the optimism comes in. Everything is perfectly balanced. This whole world is designed for us. I can see this beauty. I can smell this beauty. I can taste this beauty. I'm laughing and I'm loving. So I look around and say, guys, I wouldn't worry at all. If I had to make a prediction, there's going to be 1,000 times more opportunity tomorrow than there was yesterday. Go back 100 years in San Antonio and go try to make any money. There wasn't shit.
And to your point, I've always used, it's almost literally an opposite explanation of, but it means the same thing. Like when you run into somebody and that somebody says, "Oh, you know that person? Wow, it's shrinking. Everything's shrinking. Like the world is shrinking." Why? Because I ran into, for example, we were in Europe once. Where were we? We were in, gosh, where were we? Where was that? No, we weren't in Europe. That was Spain. We were in Barcelona, Spain.
No.
And
that
I
is
ran
Europe.
into, okay, very good.
Audience.
Making sure. Mortgage lender. Ran into somebody we knew, and it was like, how is that even possible? This entire world, the world is shrinking. So that same concept, is it really shrinking or is it growing around you?
Or does the universe exist in your mind and you're manifesting and all these people are popping up? You're making it happen.
Are we living in 3 different time loops that
you never know?
We're in the 5th dimension right now. No, seriously, like, dude, 100,000%. We are not on the conveyor belt of life.
This is totally side note because my ADD is kicking in. But did you ever see, there's a series on Netflix called Dark?
No, we haven't seen it.
If you like deep and like mind blown of, holy cow, how did they make that all tie together? That's
the mind.
Oh man, Dark.
Okay.
But is it like dark and like,
no,
I don't think like that.
No, it's not dark. It's dark in the sense of
Trippy.
This dark matter
Gotcha.
is what is found in a certain place that allows you to venture into these 3 different worlds, but it's really the same world, just alternate universes.
Cool.
It mind blown. Okay,
we'll watch that.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know, there's 6 seasons, 7 seasons. It's in another language, but they do the voiceover, so you can't even tell.
Nice.
Such a good show.
How about this though? How about this? Because this is where I'm at now, and this is a really deep conversation. It's perspective, and then what about divine intervention?
Ooh, before you do that. And we're back. We're back with another episode of Key Factors Podcast, Real Estate AF. I'm your host, Mark Jones, where the AF stands for And Finance. And we are back with part 2 of a continuation with some friends that we just didn't have enough time and way too much to talk about. So JT Fore, how are you doing?
Man, incredible, brother.
Yeah.
So happy to be back.
How are you?
Awesome.
We're buzzing.
Loving life. Loving life.
So yesterday you guys had a panel, an event. I want to know about that. What was going on? What's the deal with that? And then we're going to get back into divine intervention and all this.
Oh, absolutely.
That's whoa.
So what do you call this? Per usual, we went ahead and hit a home run.
Okay.
We swung for the fences like we always do.
Yes.
But I can't take much credit. We had, in my opinion, if you're in the San Antonio area, you could comment. We had living legends. This was, I don't know if I've ever even been in a real mastermind, and I did 40 myself last year.
Wow.
We did 40 masterminds at least, maybe 50.
Sure.
Every Tuesday for a year. Breakfast tacos.
Tell the folks what the concept of a mastermind is. I've spoken at one before, but tell us what the idea of a mastermind, what was the concept of this mastermind, and how you fit into that equation.
Yeah. So going back to adding value, right? And then going further deep into like the agent attraction, like, why am I going to call you? I can't just call you. I need a reason to call. So if I'm going to say, hey, or invite you to something.
Right.
And so with agent attraction, especially, it's like, just be awesome.
Yeah.
You attract, go do more deals than them. I promise you, when you're legit, they're going to see that and partner. But so this mastermind was basically about 6 or 7 living legends in all different shapes and sizes. We had Dayton Schrader, $500 million a year. This guy's 40 years. In my opinion, he is kind of like the best realtor in the world.
He is,
in his own way. Like, he's done it longer. He's got tenure. He saved his money.
Yeah.
He's the real deal. Like, I mean, if you know Dayton, he's kind of the top of the top. And his team is unique because, well, not because, he actually does it the way you'll eventually do it if you succeed.
Right.
You have a bunch of people cleaning your fish. You're not going to get another Mark Jones.
That's right.
Because he's gone in 3 months. He's going to look at you and be like, bro, I'm as good as you. I'm going to start my own business.
Correct.
So with Dayton, he has an incredible team. He has an incredible business, and he is systems and structure. I guarantee his letter of success, or evidence of success, letters of the heart, everything is done, time blocked, simple.
Yeah.
He's got his first Friday, whatever. He's got this. It's just, he runs a business, and he's, in my opinion, he got me into the real estate coaching. So I give Dayton credit for shattering my glass bubble, because when I met him, I didn't know people made millions of dollars.
Right.
And then I'm like, Dayton, you're not 10 foot tall and 400 pounds. Like, you're a guy like
normal guy.
Yeah. And so for me, again, but we had Dayton, we had Scott.
Now, before we move on, funny story about Dayton Schrader. Shout out Julie Stewart. First day I got into the business, 2012, I called Julie Stewart, who family friend, like a second mother growing up back in the day. She worked for Dayton. She said, hey, I'm going to get you in a meeting with him. You come in, talk to him, and see what happens. So Dayton Schrader was the first realtor I ever met with as a loan officer. Wow. And it was literally, I walked into the office, sat down in my suit and tie, etc., and he pitched me the core. And I was like, oh, this kind of stuff isn't for me.
Yeah.
Fast forward, it's like, should I have or should not? I mean, I have zero regrets, but that was literally my first interaction in real estate lending, was sitting in front of Dayton in his office.
That's
like,
funny.
Oh my God, this is how this works.
Here's something that, like, I would say more successful people understand. And this is why certain guys send their children to certain schools and certain fraternities. Your network is way more important than anything. And so for me, the core, especially now, of course, the soft skills, dude, there's no secret sauce. If somebody's selling you a secret sauce, I would say run, dude.
Yeah.
There's soft skills. What do you do? What do you say? Sure. But not the how, it's the who. But with the core, you're plugging into a fraternity of 400 millionaires. And right now, guess what? I call my boy Ben in Nashville and say, hey, Ben, it's your boy JT Honeycutt.
Right.
Guess what? We're launching the world's first luxury cloud brokerage. I need you to refer me a couple gangster that dude. Like, so right now we will have 20 cities going off at once because I was in an organization where I was paying hundreds of thousands of dollars. But guess what I have? I've got everybody's cell phone in my pocket, and they're my boys, and they're going to support me.
Is that not precisely the deposits withdrawal?
And then 10 years later, we're withdrawing. Ain't that crazy, dude?
That's so true.
Are you a wizard or a Yoda, dude?
He doesn't need the core.
Which dimension is that, second or third? Where were you?
Come back. They're merging at the moment.
It's cross-pollination.
Eclipse of the heart.
Yeah, but I was actually
dude, did you just say the eclipse?
Oh yeah,
bro.
What is
ooh, that was deep.
Yeah.
JC, cue the song. Just kidding.
Around.
There it is.
Little time on it.
That's it. I'm so glad we got him a mic. Me too.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the voice. Is that God?
Is that you?
Is that Morgan Freeman?
Calm down, y'all. Back to the podcast.
Focus. I was really, really impressed by the panel. That's what excited me, and I think that's what got a lot of people in it.
Yeah.
But first of all, Dayton, and then we had Danny Charbel. And
Danny, I will say this. If Charbel's listening.
No.
Okay, so Danny's generally, so Dayton is like the juggernaut, Titan. Danny is almost every year the #1 solo agent. Here's his claim to fame. Do you remember? I think it was
local.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay. But he flies under the radar. Like, there's no social media.
Like a Ben Kahn.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean,
but dude, this guy, his it factor. Like, you can't put your finger on it.
Yeah.
He's just awesome.
How many deals did he close in 1 year?
Check this out.
126?
Or 132. But check this out.
Wow.
No, without a TC.
Oh, wow.
It's never been done.
Okay.
Dude.
But he has a TC.
Very efficient.
Bro.
Hit a select market, is consistent. I mean, there's so many things that I'm sure he is.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, I love Danny. People work with Danny because Danny's awesome. You know, have you ever met an agent that's like, I can't figure it out? And I'm like, dude,
He's just
because you're a sloppy pig and you smell like, you know what? No, you're never going to do this. Get out of here.
Yeah.
You're busted up. You're like, go. Nobody's going to ever work with you. You're 19. You got face tattoos.
One
No
day,
offense.
we have potential.
Maybe, but and I hate to be that guy.
No,
But no, I'm going
it
to be
makes
honest
sense.
with you. Go to Chick-fil-A. Go
right.
find God. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But like attracts like, so there's someone for him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But Danny's just good people.
Well, here's the thing. Danny, if I've worked with Danny on lending, and let me tell you, he loves to play it like cool. No, Danny's so on top of his stuff. Like, you know, I'll tell you like a lender. No news is good news. My team will follow up with you on Tuesday with an email, and I'm going to call you every Friday just to give you that second before the weekend.
Right.
Danny's calling Monday.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, please. Like, I can't even shine with you.
You're making me look bad.
Yeah, no, the appraisal
and I look really good.
I know he was there last night because you were there too.
Yeah.
And, but anyway, so Danny.
Scott Maloof was there.
Okay, Scott's good. He's been on the podcast.
Last name.
Maloof.
Oh, Maloof. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, he's a friend. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's like
he's growing an empire.
Well, I've only seen him on social media, and I've heard about his rap concert.
Man, he started as a club promoter.
Yeah,
You mean a plug?
Basically, and very good at it.
I was we don't know him, but Danny and Dayton we've known for years.
Very low key, very humble, very regimented.
He dropped some nuggets, and his systems and his team, how he could handles his team is mind blowing. I mean, the panel and a lot of our people that have been successful for years were like. We got a lot of nuggets for him, and my favorite thing, if you don't mind, I'm sure that you
better not mind.
I don't. I love
this acronyms and is that right? Acronyms, but
yeah, he might as well be a lender.
His total talk time was 33 minutes on the last episode. We need to give you some more. I'm joking. That was totally. I pulled that right out of thin air. I have no clue.
Actually, 420 minutes.
So I really liked. Maybe I'm the only one that hasn't heard this, but I really like what he said about NO stands for next opportunity.
Absolutely. You know what? He's got a lot of genius acronyms that he pulled from his mentors throughout. What was it? Fear. He shared that one too. And he's got some.
But no, I'm like, why didn't I think of that and make that up? But it still makes sense. It's like, it's like next opportunity.
It was more than that. Let me
more than that.
Let's highlight it because he needs more than that. So it's not that he just read a book.
Well, I mean, we don't need to talk about them too much.
You're right.
I've had Scott on here before. Dayton, I'd love to have on here. I don't know if he's a podcast type person. I'm friends with his wife Kendall, and she runs ENV or Envy Title. With a good friend, Neffy.
We love
Neffy,
them.
shout out.
We just met Neffy.
Did you?
Awesome.
What a stud.
We had dinner the other night.
What a stud.
And then the last person was Miguel Herrera.
Very good.
You definitely don't need explanation for that. Top luxury agent.
Very consistent.
But and then
classy, good manners.
Bill Pipes, the national coach, and just great people. Michael Valdez, CEO International.
And what was the overall mastermind about? Was it most masterminds are there to kind of give you their secret sauce, or to not necessarily a pep rally, but it has more substance than that. Is that what this was?
It was digging deep. It was from 9 to 5. It was an all day mastermind. So.
And we almost had 100 attendees. Wow. It was busted out, dude.
168 RSVPs.
Well,
but anyways,
so here's what it was. So basically, we didn't want to give them any of the info up front because you want to have that candid, the sizzle. And so it was basically whatever, we did lead gen, referral, mindset, and structure. And Dayton is all structure.
Yeah.
So is Scott. And then the mindset. And so these are things I love to talk about too. But agents, we're all here. You're here to make the money.
Yeah.
So that's how you get them in the room is, hey, how do I get leads? How do I close deals?
Yes.
But
acquisition.
But to me,
there's a reason why originators make what they make. And the Skinners make what they make. It is not easy to go find, uncover, discover the business.
But here's the $1 million question. Where does the rubber meet the road? Because if NAR says every year 70% fail the first year, 85% fail the third year, I'm looking at this community and saying, guys, we have a real issue.
Yeah.
The issue isn't what to say. It's not the script. The issue is you wake up in the morning and you don't call anybody.
Right.
You have one job and you need to make noise from your head. Let's keep it that simple. If you're not doing that, bro, I don't care what language you speak. If you're an agent, if I don't hear noise coming from your head, you ain't selling houses.
That is so
don't overcomplicate this
way of looking at it that makes the most sense. And I've never heard it put.
Think about this:
if your mouth isn't moving,
if you're not, think about action, reaction. If you want your phone to ring, make some calls. You want some emails, send some emails. One of my first coaches told me, he said, JT, the fastest way to double your business is to double your conversion, right? And then so you get in, this is where you get into the relationship game of, hey, and then a side note for the 70% of agents that are going to fail this year, or the 85% of agents that are going to fail within the next 3 years, if you're not doing anything and you're spinning out, like this is, people are spinning out. They stop showing up to the office. I'm running out of money. My wife's not happy. I'm going to have to go find another job. Hey guys, I'm taking a break from social media for a year. I know why.
You got it.
One call a day keeps the haters at bay.
Ooh.
Start with one call. Just do one today. You got 24 hours. Don't let that sunset without calling one person.
Because you are a student of the game as well in this, what would you say is one of the reasons why most realtors fail within that first year?
Ooh, that's a great question.
You pretty much just said it there. And the idea of, you know what, I'm going to shift gears on that same question here to all of the realtors, lenders that recently got in the business. And I'm talking last 3 years, 4 years concept. How important is it to have boots on the ground, kind of like you're talking about, versus just relying on this social media video content, putting out a reel, et cetera, et cetera?
Plug your ears, Gen Z.
Totally
Yeah, no, exactly.
No, it's
true.
true.
I see it time and time again. I'm putting out all this content and I'm not getting anything. Well, you have, this goes hand in hand with this, but if you're not doing this, this is just there.
Dude,
if
you could be posting the greatest content in the world. If your agent's at my house drinking a freaking martini and their kids are in my pool, you're not selling their house. So this is what I would say to everybody. Here's the secret and here's the holy grail. And I've got a 5-minute video on this.
JT, that was good.
And it's the Dream 100. Here's what you do. Here's what I would tell a brand new agent. And guys, this is worth its weight in gold. You cannot argue this. This is the holy grail. If you're a new agent, you have one job, and that job is to create a certain amount of relationships. And I would say go for 50. That's what Scott M said yesterday. He had the 50 first dates because I said, well, he does referrals. I said, well, what do you do with your new agents? He said, I put them on 50 first dates. I'm like, bro,
you connect them with.
Dude. Well, no, they need to go out on dates. So basically, here's what I would say to a new agent, right? You got to, basically, it's this simple. If you're a realtor, before you get your license, let's do this. If you're thinking about getting your license, you need to ask yourself this, and there's no amount of time, whether it takes you a year or 10 years. This is it. Do I have the ability, the desire, the will to generate 25 to 50 relationships with people that have the ability to buy and sell real estate? It's kind of that simple. And then I would say if you're using common sense, let's dissect that a little more and distill it. Instead of just identifying 25 or 50 people, this is the Dream 100 or the accounts pyramid, which is a funnel where we weed and feed.
Absolutely.
It's as simple. Well,
I
as
use
a lender,
the focus funnel concept, but it's similar to this. Yep.
And so the question is this: do I have what it takes to build 25 to 50 relationships with high caliber people who are influential, who will either work with me or refer me? So when I wake up on January 1, I know that I have hundreds of people in this situation. But what happens with this? So here's the question to the agent. If you're not out generating these 25, 50, if you're posting to social media, I'm going to say you're probably done unless you're super hot. Then you might get a deal from some dude who wants to marry you and will buy a house because he's not going to, I'd rather walk through a house with you than him. But I think the social media is almost all smoke and mirrors. And here's why, because I'm in a group of people where 80% of everybody makes over 7 figures a year and nobody does, none of them do it. And here's why, because again, 82% of all deals are referral.
Does anyone prompt the question to those people? Could you imagine what your numbers would look like if you did?
Right. Well,
what, the video?
Miguel does the videos, which I was surprised because I thought he wouldn't do that, because I don't follow him as much, but now I do. So he does it. But I think that there is proof in social media. We have some friends that do it as well, and they get a lot of deals. That's all they get.
But let's dissect this for people because they're smoke and mirrors. So
now I will agree with you, but those are anomalies.
Yes.
They're typically the first of their kind in whatever genre within that bucket.
Let's keep it real. Who right now in San Antonio is making money off the internet? Like, let's just go ahead and name drop. I know a couple or one or two strictly off the internet.
Can we say Austin?
Kristen Smith.
Okay.
She's a TikTok superstar. She works with me. She does about 1 or 2 deals a month from TikTok. She's the only agent I've ever met that does deals from TikTok.
Yep.
Number 2, and I'm going to go ahead and give mega kudos to Will and Eli. Mile High Property Brothers in Denver.
Yep.
They went a mile deep. They did every value add video in Denver. How much does it snow? Best schools. Literally, you cannot search a video. But guess what? They did it 3 years ago. They did almost 300 videos. And dude, not now, because I'm not going to. Well, he just made a post. Dude, they're at 8 million GCI.
Whoa.
And he bought a Lambo when his wife was giving birth in the hospital. I swear to God, he posted a video. I was like, bro, your wife's having a baby and you're picking up your Lambo with Ninja Turtle green brake pads.
Funny story. Back in the day when we were having Peyton, I bought a Range Rover in the
while she was crowning.
She's helping me. I mean, it was the day before we were already in the hospital. They admitted us, but yes, I mean,
you guys will get along then. No, and then I would say, in Austin, I would say Kimura. Do you know her?
No, Kimura.
Oh, man,
Why does it sound familiar?
#1 Sotheby's agent in the world, and I know the guy who shoots her videos. He gets the best compositions.
You gotta look her up.
But here's the thing about video. Let's go on here. So here's the thing about video that I've realized for me. Like, think about this. If you're working, it's all about conversion.
Right.
So when I get, like, even with LPT, when I'm attracting, you know when I text people, I texted my videos. You know why? Because when you see JT and Maui flexing up on 3 acres, dude, to me, that house, it's not worth 20M, but it could be.
Matter of fact, where can I find, do you have a YouTube channel? I want to show our
pull
listeners.
it up. No, pull it up. Go to Facebook or Instagram. It's gangster, guys.
Let's go.
But here's what I'm saying, Mark. Think about this.
Your videos are fantastic.
Think about this, Mark. If you had 20,000 old leads in your LOS or whatever, or your database, if you started sending value add videos of eye candy, you are 100% going to get calls. But more important than the call from a stranger is the conversion of the referral.
Which one of these am I going to throw up?
Which
little quick clip?
A quick clip for us.
Just quick.
Okay, hold up.
That one got me.
That's just me. That's just me.
I mean, who's sexier than that?
Bro, did you like how I composed that?
I'm telling you.
And that's our backyard.
Look at this.
Am
I ever gonna buy a home? I wouldn't say this is the one.
Yeah, this is just a quick little
home ownership.
Dude, are you trying to, bro? Dude, I got girls texting me right now. They want to hold my wallet. I was like, bro,
we're talking the idea of
No, real quick. Scroll down. Do the one to the left right there. When a client requests more information about a neighborhood. Yes.
Have a dream that came true. This definitely would be it. It's unreal.
That's the guest house. We call those the Ohanas.
See Paradise World. Every night, our family's like, what sunset we're gonna see tonight?
There's levels to the game, brother.
What colors are we gonna see? And then at night, our favorite thing to do is to sit out and watch the stars. There's no light pollution, so you can see like tons of stars. The Milky Way, the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper. Everything's so easy to identify. Easy. One night you can see 5 shooting stars, or you know what wishes we're making. If you live in Laniapoco, your wishes come true. Oh, thank you. The majority of the properties in Laniapoco are acreage home sites. There's definitely something to be said. That's 2.5 acres off the grid, 30 orange trees, apples, bananas. And there's the shower. You don't dress in Maui. You run around like a little.
And I hope the folks kind of get why.
I mean, look at that. You got the mountains in the back. You didn't even get to see the ocean, dude. This is literally one of the best neighborhoods in the world. It is.
I mean, but more so, could care less about the neighborhood.
Agree.
In this conversation, I'm trying to showcase the fact that you're not being like everyone else. In the sense that it's not your phone sitting here talking to the camera with the words, etc. Even the podcast clips that I put out from this, they're just clips from what we talked about.
I'm not happy with what you posted, though.
Oh, man.
That was you.
It's getting fire right now.
Go ahead, go.
We will talk about that.
Go ahead, because I want to say something to your response.
DMs, by the way, from that.
Oh.
But the idea of we've got as a normal consumer these days, 6 seconds, 8 seconds to pay attention. You guys are encompassing angles. You're giving aperture. You're giving perspective. You're painting a picture. More so than a picture, you're giving the story.
We're telling a story, and we're telling the story that you want to hear about the lifestyle, which is going to get you to like.
That's exactly right.
That's so nice to hear, because that's something that, like, I think a lot of times when you're on social media and you see everything, I think it's okay to get inspiration from everyone, but I think eventually people just start copying it. And when you see one thing, it's like, okay, I've seen every real estate video. I know what the top 5 places to live. But to add creativity, to add something that's different,
but how to stand out from the competition,
I will go as far as to say, folks out there, you're welcome. I mean,
thank you. That
real
really
recognize real. Okay.
Thank you.
the idea behind what she's talking about here, we're not knocking it if you are just starting out in the social media content creation. Yes, the best way to go about it is to see what others are doing, maybe duplicate it to your best abilities, because your pool that people are swimming in there, that you're fishing in, is not the same pool as everybody else's. Now, mind you, at a certain point, you gotta evolve, and that's kind of what this all is encompassing, is the evolution of you or your business, your career, etc.
Yeah.
Think about this too. You got to be it before you see it. It's not fake it till you make it. So present yourself to the world, like you said earlier. With video, you control the narrative.
Yeah.
Or no, guilty by association is what you
Correct.
said. So with us, I don't need to say anything. I'm guilty by association because let's be real, man. Ain't nobody in San Antonio and Maui right now doing what I'm doing.
That's right.
And that's okay, because the picture we're painting is we are luxury. Like you said, what do? I'm a luxury agent. I'm just a 17-year loan officer who just transitioned to real estate.
Yeah.
So I am a loan officer full-blooded.
Yeah.
But I'm also probably one of the best agents you've ever met, just because. Not in best.
Because of the experience.
I'm experienced, not best. I hate to use that word. I'm a very experienced agent because I've had over 10,000 applications. I've helped you. We know this. We've troubleshooted so many files. You could throw any scenario at Mark Jones and he's got a 99% chance he'll know, like, okay, here's what we got to do. I was
up till 3 a.m. last night trying to figure one out. And I did. You're exactly correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's why, like you told Tabby, you said, this is just what we do. It's like, if you're the guy who does that, you don't need to know this. And I know what's his name was like on the internet about the quarterback. Since I was a 17-year loan officer, I believe the LO's the quarterback, because here's the way I would look at it to what's his name? Alan Corona, real quick. He's my boy. Alan, you got the deal and that's great. How many times have I gone to closing with a new build and an agent never showed up? I can tell you this, if Mark doesn't show up for 30 days, you don't have a house. Mark's actually buying the house. So you could say you're the quarterback, but Mark is actually the guy bringing the money. Everything revolves around the money. So yes, you originated the deal, but let me tell you, if Mark and JT were out there trying to originate the deal, you wouldn't have any.
Well, put it this way.
Or not you, anybody, because you don't want us chasing them.
So I am co-founder of a company called ReviewMyMortgage.com, where we started years ago attracting consumers directly. How? With education, giving it to them. Here, you want to self-diagnose, do it yourself. You don't need me right now. We've plugged in all the programs. We've plugged in all of the guidelines, that concept, and put it in an easy to digest for a consumer into a dashboard that they can have, save, etc. So to your point, because I live in a household where my wife is a realtor as well. So yeah, there are deals that we are not needed in. Those are called cash deals, which that makes up how much of the market. Just to find out what.
It depends on where you live too.
Yeah, it's very low, or geographical.
Geographical. It's common in what?
How many?
I'm probably here because of the Nationals.
Yep.
In 2023 were purchased in cash.
But the way I look at it is you've got 100,000 moving parts.
2019 before the pandemic. Let's just compare this just to see, because I would go as far as to say it's not as many as they're being financed. Okay, so 33% in 2019.
Well, that's a lot.
Excuse me.
And 29. I mean, yes, it's a lot. Bless you, bless you.
Thank you.
It's a lot, but 70% is more.
Yeah.
And those 70% of those are being financed. 30% of the time, you don't need a loan officer at all. And back to your point of, if loan officers started attracting consumers, would we still need the realtor? Absolutely, we would, because we can't open the doors. We can't guide the customers, nor do I want to really advise you on the real estate side of things. If I have to help a realtor out or help a scenario out or a situation out, I absolutely have the ability to, just like you do with the experience that we have. We've been in every damn situation out there. But
let me give you an example.
Go ahead.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Here's an example. 17 years of loans, you work your tail off, you have to show up, you have to work, or you don't have a loan.
Yeah.
I got my first listing in Florida. It was a condo in Fort Lauderdale. I did nothing. I got a referral for the photographer. I got a referral for the TC. And you know what I told the TC? I don't touch anything. Here's my password. Dude, I did nothing. Zero. No,
Right.
I got a call and the girl said, hey, I've got a buyer. And I said, okay, what do you want to do? And we did it. And I got full price. And dude, I'm shocked because I don't live there. So anyway, but the deal happened like this. I did nothing. So coming from the mortgage world, I had to go to work on Monday or there was no money. Yeah. In the real estate world, my phone rang. 10 seconds later, I made a call, went live. 2 days later, done. 2 weeks later, check. I'm like, guys, this is nothing like the mortgage world. The mortgage world, people are drinking martinis for lunch, smoking, suicidal, hanging off the bridge at night. Like, dude, am I going to let go tonight? I'm joking, but dude, you know the mortgage industry will chew you up.
Kinda, not really.
Who's the best bank in San Antonio for real banks? For who's the favorite bank? It's USAA.
USAA.
They're the worst mortgage company in the world.
Absolutely.
USAA is the best finance company in San Antonio, and they can't figure out how to close a wet paper bag. Dude, come on now. Dude, and then I'd say, Tamir, you might not want to get into mortgage either because Gary failed.
Yeah.
All right. No, and Gary could do anything. And
Keller Mortgage.
What happened to Keller Mortgage? No, dude, I got kicked out of an office
Keller
when you blocked that.
But let's not focus on.
Okay, yeah, let's not focus. Okay. Yeah, let's get out of that.
Okay, so as the host, I'm gonna bring this back. So we've already talked.
Back that thing up.
Yeah. So let's see here. We've talked about the mastermind that you guys went to. We want to go into transition from lender to recruiter.
Yes.
What was that like? I mean, obviously we know why you made the decision.
Yep.
What was the transition like?
It's interesting. So, and I want to bring all this together, Maui, LPT, because that's the story too. So agent attraction to me is identical as a loan officer. It's the same thing. And this is why when I saw the opportunity for LPT Realty with Robert Palmer, sitting on my lanai, 12th
and
night.
Give us the basics first, because when you say it is, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But break that little piece down, unpack it.
Which piece?
Not like put it in the drawers, but like throw it all on the bed right now.
Which one?
The idea of being a loan officer and attracting agents is now kind of the same philosophy, same concepts. I do the same traits and needle moving activities, but now I'm going to do it in this sense.
So it's like this. It's like in mortgage, you get paid commissions. In real estate and insurance, you get residuals.
Yep.
So here's the job. You identify the target, which is, the best agents in the world, which is what good LOs do. You obviously prospect them, mail, call, visit, email, social media, build a relationship. But recruiting versus being a lender, the only real difference is when I actually, quote unquote, capture, I have no fulfillment or attendance. So when you get an agent, you're working. Oh, I'll take your call. I'll do this. I'll bend over backwards. So when that agent calls you, you got to perform.
Yeah.
And I've performed at a high level. And you know what she likes outside of me? Is money. And you know how to make more when you're a lender or a realtor? You got to go faster.
That's right.
So after running full speed for 17 years, making loot, to me, I'm like, okay, I love this, but I'm getting older. And
I've got to find a better way.
And I was at peace with, here's the thing, guys. If you've never, I've never felt this. For the first time in my life, I found my why, which is light at the end of the tunnel. I've never been this motivated. And here's why. Because as a lender, a realtor, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. It's like, dude, this is the definition of insanity.
Well, you're on the money because once I think I was in my 8th year, and I started toying around with the idea of becoming a branch manager because I always saw, man, I'm really good at this. I've built a team. We are closing some volume. But I would go home and talk to my wife and say, man, but I don't want to do loans my whole life in the sense that I could grow this badass team. But if I decide to hang it up for a little while, I am the business, so to speak. I am the one that goes out to get it. So as a mortgage loan officer, as a realtor, there is no residual, just like you mentioned.
Well, the residual could be for you. You've got a branch, you've got 10 LOs.
And that's what made me start.
Company.
There you go. That was my transition. Dude, correct. Yeah. Now, mind you, when you first do something like that, you don't make any money.
Yeah.
Delayed gratification where the real money's at, though.
Yes.
Let me elaborate a little bit on the money, just so I don't sound like I'm a money hungry person, because I want to explain.
It's not about it's common sense. A squirrel's smart enough to score acorns.
She's not a hog. She's just a pig. Okay.
But the money side of thing, it's like, I always like a lot of times people are like the love for money is evil, but for me and for us,
I think the lack of money is evil.
Ooh, because you'll do evil shit if you don't have it.
But
that's
like
exactly
for us, it's not about money to buy nice things, buy nice houses, travel the world. Yes, those are nice. For me, the money is the freedom, the security, and it's the legacy for our family and our friends. We're not doing this to get rich just for ourselves. We're doing it because we want to give back. And most importantly, we want to have like great things for our family, for my grandchildren, for our great grandchildren. I mean, we're thinking beyond us.
But think about this. We live in
We're
a
thinking
society.
bigger, and this is.
I'll put it this way. You ever seen a depressed person on a dolphin?
No.
It costs money to ride a dolphin. I'm just saying.
I actually have.
Me too.
Not
have you ever?
it, but
Oh, we
Money-
held on
hey,
to that sucker.
Hey,
it was
money can't buy you.
It was
Absolutely.
like 1,000 plus.
Have you heard
one
that?
person.
Money can't buy you love, but it sure as heck can rent it for a while.
That's true.
But yeah, I just want to elaborate on that because
No, I
I know.
appreciate that.
But no, let's dive into like the Napoleon Hill stuff. Like poverty is like a disease. It's literally like if we're having a conversation about, oh, we can't talk about money, I'd say, guys, squirrels are smart enough to store an acorn to get through the winter. You are a man.
Yeah.
You are God's son. You are the epitome of the universe. You are the universe in its totality. No homeless fish. There's no homeless deer. The flower doesn't have to figure out how to be a flower. Why?
Right.
You know, we overcomplicate.
Flower, just flowers, okay?
Yeah. And so for me, I look around and I'm like, dude, this is obvious. It's just a game.
Yeah.
And the KPI is money. So if like, think about value. Let me blow your mind. Cause I had an epiphany the other day about this all kind of revolves around love, procreation, and survival. So what moves the needle for a man? If you think you're going to go on a date Friday night, you might go to work Monday to get some
Guaranteed.
money. I worked as a construction worker and in my brain, I just knew she was out there somewhere.
Yeah.
And I was just going to be ready to go. And so check this out. Women are attracted to power. And it could be as simple as you're a big guy. Girls like big guys for a reason because they strike you as more powerful in a way.
Sure.
But God made man equal. Your brain is way more powerful than any physical man.
Yeah.
You know this. The guys who are running the world are not strong.
No.
They're old men.
No.
Who just, but think about this. So
Which way do I go?
think about
Where's
this.
the exit of the stage?
We can
Sorry.
right? But think about this. So the universe, God, whatever you say, you have faith. It rewards men through helping other men. Think about this, because if you can add value to society, you actually get paid.
Yeah.
You're one good idea away from being a billionaire. Imagine a guy who can. So the way it works is, but think about this, with money is power. Women like rich guys for a reason. And I do too. I can't lie. I love hanging out with Robert, the jet, the dude, 10,000-year-old Saki. Like, it's not a big deal to me.
Right.
Once you've been to good restaurants and had a nice house, it's a box. Once you've had a nice car, it's a nice car. But I think
that the issue and let's call it a topic is more so folks believe that the wealthy or the rich got there on a whim because you're now meeting them in their current skin, but all of the skins that they've shed to get to where they are.
Yes.
That's the person that you want to hear about, know about, because I believe money only magnifies who you already are. So I guarantee the person that you're talking about was a pretty cool, genius person before he had money. He was just very high work ethic. He had a why and a passion, had a plan, etc. That kind of stuff, right?
So yeah, well, you get what you want. If you're playing video games all day and sit in your mom's basement, you reap what you sow, action, reaction. So here's my thing. I was looking for it. You're not. Have you ever heard the universe will give you a man what he's looking for? I was looking for her and I was looking for that, and go figure, we found it. But let's talk about money for 1 second. I want to blow people's minds. If you have issues with money, or you for some reason you don't think you should have it, let me ask you this: how much is $1 worth?
What somebody's willing to trade for it.
Okay, well, it's subjective, but how about this?
It's definitely not a double cheeseburger anymore.
Yeah, but what about this? What if that dollar is actually $1 million or $1 billion? Here's why: because that dollar could be spent every day, every minute for the rest of the world. So when people say we're 40, 60 trillion in debt, I'm like, you don't understand money. It's not real, first of all. It's like this is like the universe expands. This expands. Guess what? It's just a number. So people can't wrap their mind around. It's just a number, but the house is a house.
Yeah.
The house is always going to be worth what the house is worth, but the price tag is actually just a number. So think about this. I'm going to blow your mind if people haven't heard this story. There's a guy who's driving into town and he needs to get a hotel room. Have you heard this?
No.
It's going to blow your mind. This is like how banks do it. And this is how we eliminate debt. And this is why there's nothing to worry about at all. And this should motivate certain people. And this is why the rising tide raises all ships. And this is why business partnerships and things work together. So basically, guy drives into town, gets a hotel. The hotel owner says, okay, it's $100 a night. But if you decide you don't like the room, you can leave in 2 hours and I'll give you all your money back. Okay. You're tracking. Simple.
What kind of
Drives in.
hotel is this?
It's a motel from a scary movie, Rob Zombie.
Okay, gotcha.
The motel.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. All right. So the guy goes in, he gives the $100 to the owner. Well, the owner gets on the phone and he owes his friend $100. So he pays his friend $100 for the photography work he did. Now the photographer owed the camera shop $100 for the lens rental. So he pays the lens rental guy back, right? And then the lens rental guy had to pay for his daughter's wedding thing, was $100. The guy who put on the daughter's wedding had a bill with the motel owner. And so he paid the motel owner his $100 that he owed him from last weekend because he had an event. So here's what just happened. This guy came into town. He got the hotel room. Hour and a half in, he's like, dude, my wife's upset. I got to go. He gives him the $100 back. What just happened? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $0.
Yeah.
Where'd the $100 go? And nobody owes anybody anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty trippy, right?
That makes.
This is why certain communities, let me tell you right now, if you want to really, really ball out, start doing business with me and I start doing business with you and keep it moving. It's currency. It's the water. The banks are on the shores. Dude, Robert Palmer, he spent $150 million on marketing to become a billionaire.
Yeah.
He's spending, we purchase more Zillow leads than anybody in the world.
As a company?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first month he bought over 500,000. It's under Larry the Bird, one of our mascots. So if
I need to talk to him about Review My Mortgage so he can diversify.
No, everybody wants to talk to RP because he's got the Midas touch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And with him, it almost feels like he's taking candy from a baby because he knows like he can do it. And then think about this. If you're in the room with the CEO of Zillow, if you're in the room with Gary and all these guys and you're like, dude, I'm pretty sure I'm okay because you're backtracking, trying to
figure out what we did.
Yeah. But so with the money, I like to look at it like it's $1 is infinite. And if you keep it moving, this is the secret. And I don't so I grew up in a certain community.
That's a great concept. Circulation is everything.
You have to keep it moving. So this is the magic. And I saw a video on YouTube where the guy called it angels. Dollars are angels. So when angels come into your life, you got to give angels out. Go tip the waiter. And this all reciprocity, givers gain.
Yes.
You're a dad. I can tell you right now, in general, because women have that, once a month.
Yeah.
Dads are usually the happiest person in the house. And you know why? And we get nothing. We don't even get the big piece of chicken, but you know what I get? You know what I get? I get the satisfaction of having a cave and food. Yeah. And that's everything for me. My children are safe. They're sleeping sound because they know dad's home. The door doesn't need to be locked. They've got shelter. They're warm. And that's it. And anything outside of that's icing on the cake. But once you secure that, and then this is where lifestyle and residual kicks in. So for me, I joke around. I would rather live in a single wide trailer in West Virginia with a dime piece than a 20M in Boulder with some B who doesn't respect me.
Right.
That would be a prison.
Yeah.
Dude,
oh, absolutely.
I prefer a tent. I didn't know I was a tent guy, but if she was in the tent, I'm like, I think I'm a tent guy, That's I don't have tent, but I
That's right.
But you guys so let's go back to the money. So with residual, if you're an agent so let's talk real estate. If you're an agent, light at the end of the tunnel, I don't care if you're making a ton of money or struggling. Here's what we need to do as parents. We need to figure out a way to make sure that there's apples for our kids. That means you plant seeds. So for me, when with residual, I look at it like this. If we can get you to $5K a month, that's $1 million mortgage in most states with 20% down. Now in Texas, it might be a little more with taxes. I don't know. I'm not.
Taxes are a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 20% down traditionally is about 5K. So every time I make 5K in residual, that's okay, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. And I'm like, okay, so my company's going to pay for my $5-7 million home. That's going to be worth twice as much in 10 years because why? All I did was not even really share the opportunity, but here's the thing. It's a true no-brainer.
Now, would you go as far as to say, because I know exactly what you're getting at and what you're going through and going to with this, do you think that most in our scenario, and we're talking about real estate professionals as a whole, forget or don't know how to reverse engineer into what you're talking about?
What do you mean? Like how to figure out how to make the money?
Correct. In the sense that, okay, I get the concept of this dollar not meaning as much or as much as I want it to be, but how do I get to the dollar part of it? Does that make sense? There's the needle moving activities, the idea of okay, if I have to close 10 deals in a month, how many calls do I have to make? How many people do I have to cut? Does that make sense?
Too mathematical and too linear. This is the $1 million question that nobody can figure out. And this is why I'm joking around and I'm picking on Gary.
Yep.
It's because of that mustache. You remember Super Troopers? Are we doing mustache right, Gary?
That's awesome.
How'd you get to 200,000 agents? That's a secret he won't tell you. You put a quarter in the machine.
Hey, JC, does that look like spit to you? Fuck it.
Hey, Mark,
I think that's the first time someone said mustache right on the podcast.
Oh man, that reminds me of
go
the
for
sticker in Maui. I'm not going to say that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
what's our time at, JC?
Oh, yeah, let's focus.
We are
That was good.
Oh, was it
40 minutes away from 1 hour. 40 seconds.
Okay, good deal.
How much time?
We're at 50,
We got another 15, 20 minutes.
Okay, perfect. So the $1 million question, and this is again, it's not the how, it's the who. Why do I get up in the morning and sometimes do stuff?
You always do.
And I'm going to go back to this. Like, let's go back to like school, where psychology, the number one, you're the strongest to survive. If you were hanging off a bridge and you've never done a pull up, you might pull up and live.
Yeah.
Like there's, like the guy on the thing.
That superhuman strength when you need it.
Or mom. But remember the guy on the thing?
Yes.
Car.
And he went for 5 minutes and he broke his arms, but he never let go and died.
Right.
I'm like, dude, I might have let go. I don't know. But he didn't.
Right.
And so you're going to be the strongest to survive. And that's why when your back's against the wall or you hit rock bottom, you'll be okay because you'll persevere.
Correct.
Number 2 is procreation. And I know a lot of people don't like to have this conversation, but I'm a guy and I'll tell you right now, most men are in it for one reason.
Yeah.
The reason I have a yacht and a mansion is because of her.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about boats, helicopters. I like to travel, but I'm a giver.
Yeah.
I don't know what you know. No, men are givers. And then you know this, we're providers and protectors. So for me, this is where I draft most of my, happiness is because I get that simple. But this is what moves the needle for a lot of people. So like Bill Pipe said yesterday, he's trying to get all these guys to $1 million. He's got maybe 50 students kids that he's got that are making $1 million. And he's like, you've got $1 million life, you've got $1 million wife, you've got $1 million home, and you're having $1 million sex. And I know like this guy makes about $5,000 an hour, $4 or $5 million a year. Like this is legit. He's one of the best. And a lot of people, especially Tabby, they think it's cringy. And I'm like, but Tabby, no, it's not.
Well, it's cringy to the ear that is no. The ear that is not ready to hear something like this, maybe in their career, but the ones that are going, okay, I'm ready. Like I'm looking for what is it? They want to hear the truth, the straight talk.
I know it's the truth for sure, especially with.
It goes back to this. It goes back to procreation. Let's do this. We're in a village with 10 Indians, and Napoleon Hill expands on this stuff. Is that okay or no?
You don't have to. I get the concept. Yeah, I get the concept.
Yeah, if I can outperform you, if I'm funnier, stronger, I get the pick of the litter. If I get the pick of the litter, I have a chance of having a healthier child.
Sure.
Right? If there's the other girl's Down syndrome, you might have a good kid. I'm joking.
No, you're right.
I'm trying to make contrast so people understand that this is what makes the world go round because it goes back to the KPI of adding value. If I can add value and make the world a better place, then women are attracted to me. Mm-hmm. And so I actually believe for young men especially, that's the game, but that's why you make your calls.
Correct.
And then when you're 40, you're done doing loans and you own the company because now you're smarter, you're wiser, you're planting seeds. But anyway.
Well, what's the path to the residual?
Path to the residual for them?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
for you in your case.
So here's the way.
Thank you,
let me
Tabby.
Exercise this.
Co-host today.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Am I stepping on your?
No. You're right. We want this to be awesome.
Perfect.
Yes.
And
awesome.
I want to clarify a couple things, like with the LPT before we leave in Aperture, a couple things because we had so much fun, like we were spinning. So the needle moving activity for me, it goes back to agent attraction, but where does the rubber meet the road? And this is the $1 million question. And this is why I said you need to figure out, like for me, it's like this. If you know you're going to go to Maui in a week or two, you're making calls. You're good. You're already checked out. It's because you're looking forward to something.
Correct.
So like right now, I'm looking forward to buying an 80-foot sunroof catamaran. We're shopping for new homes in Maui, 5 to 7 M. I'm excited. So that's what I look forward to. And that kind of keeps me going. But even more so, it's the freedom and peace of mind. And so if you're an agent and you're not, and I would even say, timing is everything every time. People don't understand this, but if we're, again, having an adult conversation about real stuff, if you're in Silicon Valley and you're an investor, who are you investing in? Are you going to invest in a company that's going bananas, that's a startup, that has no debt, that's broke every record in the world, growing 500 times faster than any company's ever imagined? And we've got guys at Gary Keller, Real, EXP, they're looking at us like, oh, whatever. And I'm like, dude, I'm earning pre-IPO stock of the most viral real estate brokerage in the world, and you don't I mean, you can say what you want, but you're not.
Right.
This is what leverage is. You get in at 80 cents and you sell at 160 like Gene Frederick for 300 M.
Mhm.
He didn't sell, but you know what I mean.
Right.
So for me, 17 years of doing deals at a high level, no light at the end of the tunnel, I'm now at a different point in life where I want more, but I want to use leverage. And so timing, MLM is like winning the lottery. It doesn't work. I've never been a fan, but that's what rev share is it is what it is.
Right.
I don't like to call it recruiting. It's attracting, but it's recruiting. You know, if you own a brokerage, your number one job is to recruit, because if you don't have a brokerage. That's it. Like,
that's true.
Gary knows that, but the average agent, and we're talking about the 80% of agents who are probably treading water, who don't understand the game.
JC, come to me for 2 seconds. Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's all the coverage.
Here's what I would say though. I think like in nature, like if you're not smart, nature will teach you. If you put your finger in the fire, it'll burn. But God says, I love you. Pull your finger out so you don't lose your finger.
Yeah.
So in real estate, the way I look at it is, some people do it and some people need to feel the pain. Mm-hmm. And if that pain starts to, like, if you've got a wife who's holding you accountable,
right,
how many days are you going to go home? I remember when I got into mortgage, she literally said, like, how long are you going to work for free? Like, I was going to work for 3 months without a check. And I'm like, totally, thanks for motivating me, but you better believe that motivated me because she's pregnant.
That's right.
And I'm like, oh, wow, this is interesting.
But like you, I just tell the truth. I don't sugarcoat things unless.
She doesn't. Unless what? You don't sugarcoat anything.
And I can tell just from our interactions the last couple of days, it's all intended with good intention.
Yes.
There is no malice. There is no, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
We love people. Mm-hmm. Like I want to say that's probably
to see everyone succeed.
Yeah.
And money's infinite. When people are like, oh, Red Sox, Yankees, I'm like, dude, you've got your team. I've got my team. I love my wife. You love your wife. I love my son. Like, let's get over that, whatever. Right.
Yeah. And I think that's why we're so excited. It's because it's not only going to help us, but it's going to help so many people.
Sure.
And this opportunity with LPT, it's not going to help just one, but what Robert Palmer says he wants to create how many million?
1,000 millionaires.
1,000 millionaires. Can you imagine that we bring on these people, and the people that see the vision, they can be successful as well, and then they can pass it forward and pass it forward.
Think about Kai. So with us, we've got teenagers at home. They're getting ready to go to college. My son's 4.0. Dude, this guy's, his arms are bigger than yours. Like, no shit. No, he is a stud. Dude, dude, bro. My heart, man.
Yeah.
But he's 4.0. He's incredible. He's everything I wish I could be. Like, literally, he is the next. He's the 2.0. He watches me. He has teachers. His teachers are teaching him things that I never even learned because I didn't do school.
Right.
And I'm grateful for that.
Same.
I was in the back rolling blunts. I'm just kidding. My teacher loved me. I'm kidding. So with Kai and Justice, our daughter, and our other daughter, Atlee, what they're witnessing is the manifestation, and they're watching dad do it, and we involve them. They do photography.
That's right.
My son friend requests people. They're waiters at our party, so they wear like tuxedo type stuff. So they're watching like the dad's in the front of the room spitting fire. They're like, dude, we're shooting video. They because they're internet kids too, so they see mom and dad are rolling the dice. And then he sees his teachers and all these other people, but in his life, he lives in a neighborhood where people like us. So he lives, and it's like, dude, you're it. But
it's also a common theme that we discuss on this show, and that's the idea of most, if not all, of the experts that we have in here are very transparent, include their kids in what they're doing because they want them to see what happens behind the scenes, not just the social media.
Yeah.
I want them to work with me. I've got a nephew who I call Shane FK.
They know that it's not easy,
But it's also not hard if you use your noodle. Like, think about me, dude. No. This is literally, it's not easy. But Bill Pipes yesterday was going on and on about you got to work 60 or 100 hours. And in my brain, I'm like, I don't do anything. You know why? Because I'm using common sense.
Right.
I looked around and said, Robert Palmer, no debt, stars aligned. I do video. I'm a great loan officer. Now I'm on track.
Right.
My goal is to be the #1 agent attractor in the world, and the KPI will be money.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, dude, I just outperform you. And that's nothing. But here's why I'm doing it. It's because of the timing.
Yeah.
I had the guts. Take massive action. I pulled my
your
kids out of school in 2 days.
situation, and you may or may not like this or not, I'm going to say it anyway. It reminds me of Pat Hayes. Do you know Pat Hayes?
We do. We got a few.
Of course I know Pat.
Back in the day, he
You're not the
did
first
the
to say
same
that.
thing with EXP and did a great job. And I will tell you, the first masterminds I did was with Pat Hayes years ago in Dallas. And And he was showing me his rev share, and I went,
and it was 100 plus.
You joking?
You don't know, but dude, remember, in order to make 100 grand residual, you have to have over 20 million in the bank. That's like at least. So in my brain, I'm like, okay, go try to save $1 million. You probably won't. You'll sell a house and make 400 2 or 3 times. But what was it with the well, we have a limited amount of time. I want to clear something up.
Back. Yep,
Dude, let me clear up something real quick because we did spit some fire. Yes, you know that we did it. We actually have chemistry.
Matter of fact, turn up the AC.
I did walk away the other day, and I was like, Mark and you, like, I was like, if you two together, because
I was dangerous.
But the difference is we would actually get things done.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I'm doing it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So with LPT, I watched our podcast and I loved it. And I'm like, you are so good. I want to be like, I need to be like you in a little while. We talked for an hour and never said anything.
That's awesome.
I never answered your question. I love how you ended it because we just laughed.
Yeah.
So I am a real estate agent and specifically luxury. I don't practice that much because I'm actually going for way more income than selling multi-million-dollar homes.
Sure.
Which is pre-IPO stock of the fastest growing company in the world. And the ground level of rev share. So for example, here's like with LPT, let me explain this. It's a hybrid brokerage. Yep. But what's the definition of a hybrid brokerage? Because I use that term and I never told you. A hybrid brokerage is this simple. We offer a dual path compensation model.
Okay.
We're cloud, but we also have brick and mortar. It's that simple. And it's all about agent choice. And you'll see we have like when you said it's simple, we have a lot of like deliverables.
Right.
Our marketing will blow your mind. Like
when you talk brick and mortar, that is the head of the team or the broker in that area that is owning that P&L expense.
No, well, the way we do it is like when we're attracting these big brokerages and these big teams, we sometimes partner with them on the rent. And then they turn it into an LPT hub. So for example, we launch in California next week.
That's actually pretty smart.
This guy's got offices. They're all going to be LPT hubs. He does 1.2 billion a year. He comes on. So, but think about this.
Then eventually the residual will cover the lease. And then one day you now own.
But think about this. This is where it all revolves. This is where it all stems from. Robert Palmer and his team spent 4 years studying agent migration. And because their goal was to create the most valuable brokerage in the world. So
we talked about that. Yep.
Yeah. So when they studied, well, why do agents leave KW? Why are they leaving EXP? Why are they leaving? He came to conclusions. And the conclusion was basically the model he created, which he considers your brokerage for life. Mm-hmm. Like, where are you going to go? You're not going to get more for less. Right. Ever. Like there's like when he said you know why? Here's the story that nobody knows. LPT originally was Listing Power Tools. Listing Power Tools.
Is that what it stands for?
Yeah. So Listing Power Tools was the company that made Robert Palmer rich. He had 18,000 subscriptions at $300 a month minimum.
That's so smart.
It's almost 10 million a month
of the basic needle moving activity items that you need to succeed. You use these, you'll be successful. Exactly. You don't use them, you ain't got a shot.
Dude, Danny yesterday said he's sending postcards. So we do all this stuff for the agents. Right. So here's the way again. So with the hybrid brokerage, the heart of our company is marketing. Mm-hmm. And to me, this is again why I'm all in 100. But so here's what happened. Listing Power Tools was a company that started about 8-9 years ago. Went completely bananas, cross country. Robert Palmer's in a jet. He's loaded. Well, what this was it was done for you marketing. So it's print and digital.
Okay.
And then so what Robert Palmer did was omnipresent marketing in Florida. You're familiar with that term? Mm-hmm. So here's what he does. He does TV, he does radio, he does internet, he does print, and he does billboards.
You're hitting it from every angle.
No, he does. And
for a branding perspective, almost guerrilla marketing, but it's almost more than guerrilla marketing.
But dude, no, how does Adidas and McDonald's do it? They just get in your brain. Yeah. So think about this today. Yeah. You want to doubt RP? Guess what? We have tens of millions of people that are going to see our logo across the country on billboards because all of our luxury listings are on billboards.
Wow.
We're sending out hundreds of millions of postcards every month in the United States because we own a $20 million print shop and we're opening 4 more. So here's what this is why we're going viral. And if you're an agent, feel free to call or text me, put my number in there. Here's the deal. At the push of a button, you have everything. You have your just listed, just sold, open house, price reduced postcards. You have all brand new brochures, listing presentations. Check this out. not only do we have all of this, which is designed to increase conversion, which is done for the agent, which they get for free on it's fronted. We don't have a monthly fee. We give you all this because we don't get paid until you get paid. And so I can run up to 100,000 digital ads at the push of a button. So think about this. If I'm at the table with a listing or a client that I'm going to list, and I'm telling them, here's how I invest in the sale of your home. Mm-hmm. Everything is branded with your listing, this and that. And I'm not going to go through it all. Absolutely. It's bespoke. It's incredible. But with LPT, the marketing is the heart of our company. And if you understand business, our marketing is the growth hack, which is growing our company because we're helping agents convert. If I can increase conversion, you have more money. You have more money, you have more pep in your step. More pep in your step, that energy is what attracts agents. So when you start to win and you gain momentum, this is going to fire you up. You want to put the pedal to the metal. And so when you start to have this at mass and people are all starting to like, oh shit, like at our house, the roof is like, we're creating legacy. And by virtue of doing this for ourselves, it's like gravitational pull. Sure. I look at a guy like you laughing, cutting up, driving your Defender, jumping in the pool. I'm like, bro, I'm interested in you. Right. And all this good stuff. So simply put, Robert Palmer created LPT Realty as a hybrid brokerage, which offers a dual path compensation plan because we understand that 80% of agents are not going to recruit and they're not going to do a lot of deals. So we say do 500 a file, $5,000 cap. Now, if you're like me and let's say you do 35 deals a year, you'll earn 3,000 shares of stock. You'll have 100%. Like there's another bucket. So here, like this, Keller Williams, EXP, Real, all these other companies say one size fits all. Right. Truth be told, about 92% of agents, according to what I understand, have never received a penny in rev share. So, so they say you have to do it. We say if you don't pay, don't play. Right. The days of overcharging an average agent to pay an upline are over. Right. I just don't like. So you want me to go bring a team of 50 people so I can make more money and charge them more? No way. That's not going to work. No. This is why if you rip the sheets off, I would encourage everybody in every market. If you really want to know the true story, look up agent migration on Showing Time. I pay for it. I can show you that. Like, for example, Real in Dallas, because I did a party and I invited their best agent and I believe I'm going to get him. They have 650 agents and they put on 550 in the last 12 months and they lost 600. So they're about 100% attrition. And this is why I went back to, if you and I had to solve the puzzle of how do we create the most valuable brokerage in the world, it's retention. Yeah. Gary can't figure it out. Nobody can figure it out. So what Robert Palmer said is, Mark, I'm going to spoil you rotten and I'm going to do the marketing for you. I'm going to help you make more money. And so by charging less, we're just putting more money in agents' pockets. And if somebody said, what's LPT's thing? I would have said, it's this simple. We just help agents sell more real estate. You can't argue that. Because why Gary tells you to make 100 calls and why the core is telling you to do this, we're actually doing it with you, getting you out of your comfort zone, putting you out there doing these action items that move the needle, that actually attract leads, that increase conversion. It's literally your lender. This is too common sense. You want to go over there.
I think that's the most impactful thing out of this concept is they are not leading with the gimmick of getting rev share and this and that.
The culture, the technology.
It's founded in the premise of we need to sell real estate for this to even.
We need to help the agents. Yeah.
And how do we do that? Give them what they need to do it.
Exactly.
Well, and that's going to cost money. That's okay. But we're going to invest in people so that these people can then build better lives for themselves, be appreciative, and go and do the same thing with others. Because the model in itself, it sounds like pretty genious.
It's common sense genius. And there's way more than marketing.
Leave that.
No, when you see the marketing, like this is what he's all about, unfair advantage and blue ocean. I'm not competing against any other brokerage right now. Yeah. We are the only flat fee brokerage that has rev share, stock, and marketing. I don't know of any company that has real marketing. Zero. Like I've never seen it. With us, Robert Palmer already had the print shop. He's already got 100 employees. Right.
He's leveraging.
In our print, dude, like when for example.
Same concept. Dude, this is a much smaller scale, but gifts that go to our borrowers. Well, I own the laser engraving company that does that. Yes. Why? Because why would I pay them 50 when I can do it for 25?
For yourself.
But think about this. Robert Palmer is doing exactly what he did for himself for us, but us is his brand. Yeah. So what he's doing is he's getting in the head of millions and millions and millions and millions of homeowners and sellers by virtue of his marketing. So he said, I've already cracked the code, and people don't understand like you do because you're doing it. Mm. When you have millions of people seeing your logo, and again, this is a push of a button. I can literally send out 1,000 just listed postcards in 10 seconds. Yeah. I can push a button and run 100,000 digital. Dude, he's got it done. So with agents, this is again, 80% of agents are going to have a conversation about this, or that. And I would say, you're about to get out of this industry and you know, you're posting on Facebook, but you don't know you're from a hole in the wall. And let's just be real. Like you see this stuff and I'm like, you want to talk about real estate?
Yeah.
Let's have that conversation. Like Mark said, what's the needle moving activity? You're posting on social media, dude. You're screwed. Let me tell you again. If my wife and I are going out to dinner with Mark, he's not your client anymore. It's this. No, it's nothing.
No, but you're on the money. And to wrap this sucker up, I think we just went another hour and a half talking about a whole bunch of great stuff that people are going to have to piece together, but that's okay.
For sure.
There was a lot in this that I believe people can actually take and utilize. And if they can't, then I mean, maybe it's just not for them. This isn't intended to get people to go to LPT. This is enlightening everybody on the concepts of what we are doing in the real estate industry, how brokerages are evolving, what a top producer is doing to become a top producer, and how those top producers should be focused a little bit on investing in your own craft itself, right?
Yes.
So that being the case, I mean, is there anything that you guys would like to leave us with? You guys are awesome.
Well, you reminded me, we're launching.
Are y'all leaving today?
We are.
Yeah, 5. We're going to see you soon.
November 14th-ish.
Okay, that's not too far away.
We got the parade home. We're going to be doing a private dinner party. Come on over.
We're doing an aperture luxury home party.
Okay.
Private party. So
very cool.
Yeah.
So check
next time y'all are in town, let me know well in advance. We'll have you guys over for dinner. That'd be fun.
Oh, we'd love that.
Yep.
We'd love that. I was just thinking that.
No, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, dude, you should if she's an agent, bring Mama Bear on here.
We got insurance, real estate, mortgage all under one umbrella.
The entrepreneur family. Hey, and check this out. You'll love this. So
I'm an aspiring tech nerd.
So we're actually launching 2 more features. Again, this is going to blow your mind. We have FU for life.
Okay.
Which for a small fee, we will follow up with your past client forever.
Wow.
In every way, mail, email, like priceless for agents. And then we also just put together a small concierge for every agent so that after you close, a human will get the 5-star review for you.
And what you guys are doing.
This is like, this is where the rubber meets the road.
Correct. And I've talked about it before. The focus funnel, the idea of that is, how do I become the best top producer, the best non-procrastinator, so to speak, is take all the things that it requires you to do your job, to your career, and then run it through the funnel of automate, delegate, or eliminate. And then you got to do it. You guys, in what you're doing and what they've created, is pulling everything they possibly can that could be automated away from, hey, we're going to do this for you.
Yep.
Anything that could be delegated, same concept. We're going to do your marketing for you. We've got this under control. I need you to focus on making the calls, doing the things that
just go be friends. Yeah.
That's right.
All the other stuff never gets done because it's a headache, it costs money, and we're all spinning and drinking water out of a fire hose. But when Dad says, hey, Mark, take this with you so you don't fumble the bag and you get that $20,000 and say this, and let them know you're investing in the sale. Here's where we're different. Boom, boom, boom. So it's an incredible situation, 100,000%. What do you think?
Go for it. Yeah.
Lastly is thank you so much.
Of
Like, we were so excited. Like we were our worst critics for the first time, especially me, because I'm a female, mind. But then I watched it and it was just like inspiring, like coming from both sides. No,
you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
But we can't seem to get anything across.
It's like so fun. So thank you. And we just think that this podcast and just like, this hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
Great thing. Thank you for having us.
Audience out there, believe it or not, dropping a bomb here. This was their first podcast ever, and I think they did a phenomenal job. Matter of fact, we got 2 episodes in back to back. There's not too many people that can carry a conversation intellectually.
We haven't scratched the surface.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's do it again.
See you guys in November.
Well, with the launch of Aperture, my brother suggested that I do a world podcast tour with the highest caliber real estate podcasters.
Let's go.
And truth be told, the bomb hasn't dropped.
Throw my hat in the ring.
Dude, you're the man.
Throw my hat.
Literally. 100,000%. Yeah. Thank you so much. What an honor to be here with you guys.
Guys, you too, behind the scenes.
There you go. So for all of you guys out there, as mentioned before, hopefully you can grab some nuggets out of this, because through all the minutia and all of the shaking and jiving that we were doing today, there are some really, really valuable nuggets that you as a aspiring top producer, you as an already top producer, maybe just needed to be reminded of, especially in a market like today where the sky is falling, but guess what? People are still buying and selling homes. It's just a matter or not if you are the one that they're calling or running from. That being the case, guys, we will catch you on the next one.